Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Sidetrack here, bringing you episode 12 in our Let's Play series. I'm pretty happy with the way my storage room is looking. I did a little bit since the last time I saw you. I added a bunch of labels from Bibliocraft to the outside of our chest, so you can see basically what's inside of um, each chest. Essentially, the way these work is you find what you want to put them on. Say maybe this empty chest, and then just kind of shift, right-click it on the outside. You can just regular click it anywhere you want. It'll fit on anything. And then to access it, this is a little bit of a trick. You do need to hold down Shift and right-click on the label. That will give you 3 slots to put things in. So you can be like, pink flowers are going in there, and some, whatever you want, and it will organize it accordingly. One other kind of cool thing, if you put a, some source of light in there, the basically label acts as a light source. I don't know if you can see as I put it in there. Not it's daytime, so it's not that big of an issue, but it does give off a little bit of light. And you can stick them anywhere. Let's see if I can do this without breaking my windows. I don't really want a label on here. So yeah, pretty cool. You can kind of see at a glance what is in each chest. The next thing I did was I cut down, let's turn into Ender Mini. I installed a carpenter's hatch, and I installed a ladder, and just a path underneath all of these chests, so that if and when I need to go back and reallocate what goes to what chest, it's pretty simple. You can just go right underneath here. I have access to our item filter, which is pretty cool. Oh, and I should mention, if you want to, in our case, if you want to see what's in the chest, you most of the time when you, let's see if I can see where the latch is. This actually is rotating the chest. You can see the latch is right here. Rotates it back to the front. If you want to see what's in it, though, since you can't just get rid of the wrench, because then you can't see the chest, hold down Shift and right-click, and then you can open it up and see what's in it. So pretty cool. All right, so what I wanted to do is a little bit of disguising work here. So this, hatch is, not the most amazing thing. I actually made a couple of, vanilla hatches, and then I remembered about this. So we're going to disguise this as a marble panel, and that looks pretty decent. You can still see that hatch there. It's never going to be completely gone, but I want to introduce you to the carpenter's hammer. So the carpenter's hammer is a pretty cool tool. Let's turn back into ourselves. You can use it to right-click on any of the carpenter's blocks, or at least the hatch and the door, and you can change the texture on it. So we can look all kinds of neat-looking things, which is kind of neat. I kind of like that one. That looks kind of cool. You can also do it on the doors. I'll go ahead and show that to you since we haven't got a chance to do that yet. Oops. Probably would not. So you can see door change, door change, door change. So you can make it look like whatever you want, which is kind of cool. I like that one. I think we'll leave it there. And let's see. This is kind of cool. So if you make it like a stone texture, you can actually make the door practically invisible. If somebody's got Wayla, they're gonna, see it up here in the top of their screen. But that's kind of cool. So you don't even know there's a door there. Kind of like a little invisible door. On one side of the door there will be a handle, though. But kind of cool. All right, so what are we gonna do today? Well, we need to work on power. And I was thinking to myself, well, we've got a lot of this, and I've actually had to turn off our machine. And so we are getting a whole stockpile of essence berries. I kind of left my machine on last night. Whoops. It wasn't on for that long, but a couple hours of not doing anything. And, oh, I gotta show this to you. I was playing around with the smeltery. And if you take a comparator and put a comparator in front of something like a drain, I think it might work in front of the smeltery controller as well, it will output a signal relative to the strength of how full your smeltery is. And so I just have, it going straight into one of our redstone conduits, which then feeds back into here. So we have our conduit on set to extract mode only when it receives a redstone signal. And then it will output redstone into here, resonant ender, which will then fill that up. But it's off right now because we have way more resonant ender than we want, and also because I updated to the next patch, and it doesn't seem like our system is going to work anymore, which is kind of a pain. Apparently, at least right now, Industrial Craft does not want to interface with any of the Mine Factory loaded blocks. So we've got plenty of power running through this wire, it just won't connect anymore. Kind of a drag. But that's okay because we got our use out of it. In fact, we have more ender and ender pearls. I have a whole bunch of them upstairs as well. So I'm not going to worry about fixing it for a while. But we are going to have to add some other source of power to it, probably once we have our power system from today up and running. You'll notice I have a giant hole in the side of my house. No, a creeper did not blow up. What I'm actually going to do is kind of expand the house out this way and probably make kind of a central courtyard that we're going to do some farming in. Because what I want to do is use this essence in a dynamo from thermal expansion. We are going to use the reactant dynamo, which will generate energy using a fuel and a solid reactant. And I did a little bit of looking up, and we should be able to get a decent amount of power from this essence. I may regret using essence to generate power, but I've never done it before, so I figure, why not? So we're going to use essence, and then we're going to try and see if we can get a big enough sugar farm going. Because essentially, the way the dynamo works is that you take some kind of fuel, and it works with a lot of the kind of the funkier liquids out there. So you can use like sewage from Mine Factory Loaded. I think sludge works, essence works. And then a solid fuel. So the solid fuel is going to be like gunpowder or sugar. You can use nether stars if you have, a wither farm. And depending on the solid fuel you use, it will last longer as kind of a reactant. Wither stars last forever. They'll generate like almost 2 million power or 1.5 million power. Redstone flux. Sugar does not last very long. So we may regret trying this. But I'm going to go try and build a little bit. You can see I have all my building material in my hands. I'm just kind of building out this. And I'm going to come back once I've kind of got the outline. I'll show it to you in stages, since I'm sure you don't want to really watch me lay down a bunch of dirt. Back in a few. Alright, well, so far, this is about what it looks like. I'm going to have a nice little courtyard here. Probably need to do something off to this side. Probably going to square kind of basically around this. But using some wide stone bricks again. Small stone bricks. Probably, kind of continue my building style of really large windows so I can look out and get some sunlight. Probably do a glass roof. Not sure. I'll come back when I've kind of figured it out a little bit. I'm kind of waiting on some more stone to cook up. Yeah, it's taking a while. I've got a decent amount, but anyway, back in a few. Alright, well, it's coming along. I've got a little courtyard area. This will be probably some other kind of room. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I'm trying to go with kind of a theme of, kind of like the darker, regular old stone bricks on this side, wood on this side. I'm not quite sure how much I like the small, the short acacia wood planks, but, we'll see. Working on putting the finishing touches on Sim. of the windows in here. I'm just using screens. I'm not really sure I like the way all this looks, but it'll protect me from the zombies that want to eat my brains, so I suppose it'll work out. This is eventually going to be, kind of go out onto, you know, the rest of my house, because I think I'm going to just end up doing a rather large square and maybe put a second floor on at some point. I don't know. It kind of depends on what we need to do. Can I make it? Yes. So, not too bad. But then, as I was building this, there was that awkward moment when I realized that I was in creative mode. And I gave myself 64 sulfur. Whoops. But I got rid of that and I turned creative mode off. So all is good. All is right in the world. So, next up, the whole reason we're doing this, and we're expanding our house, I'll probably finish that later, is because we need to do some kind of automated sugarcane farm. And I've got some interesting ideas, but for that, we're going to need a couple of things. So let me grab some material and meet you back. All right, so first step, we are going to make a piston sugarcane farm. So we need to make ourselves about, what did I run out of? Cobblestone, about 14 pistons. Throw that in there. 14 pistons, cool. Now the next thing we're going to do is we need to make ourselves a couple of other blocks, and let's see how far along this is coming. Well, it's getting there. I want to make kind of the base of this out of brick, because brick is kind of fun. So we'll make what we can make. 23 might be enough. And we're going to need, let's switch this out. Wait a minute. There we go. We are going to make ourselves a couple of other blocks. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. Make a couple more of these. All right. We are going to make ourselves several. We make ourselves a block update detector. And a block update detector requires a sticky piston, which is basically a regular old piston with a block on top of it. Why didn't I make myself an extra piston while I could? We are going to need a bit of slime. I've got slime in here in my mob chest. Clear. There we go. Piston. Sticky piston. Thank you. On top of that sticky piston, what else did we need? Redstone torch. I think I've got a redstone torch over here. Actually, why don't we just do this? Stick. Oop, wrong place. Stick. Redstone. Redstone torch. Cool. And we should be able to pull this block update detector. Now, what the block update detector does is it sits somewhere, and anytime there is a change to a block next to it, it emits a redstone signal. So it says, hey, there was a block there. There's not a block there anymore. Anytime there's a change, it will do an update. Cool. So the next thing we're going to need to do is we are going to make a NOT gate. A NOT gate is from Project Red. And it's kind of complicated to make. It needs several parts. It needs these circuit plates that are basically smelted wow. Stone. We are going to need several of these cathodes. 1, 2, 3. Cathodes are pretty simple. It's going to need some of that circuit plate. 1, 2, 3 of these. We are going to need an anode. We are going to need a conductive plate. Just one? Yes, just one. And then I think we've got everything we need once I throw all this stuff in here. That. And there's our NOT gate. The NOT gate is pretty simple. It's a lot of things from, the various gates are basically a redstone circuit, much simplified. Like if you look on a lot of people who play vanilla Minecraft, they have very complicated ways to make the redstone circuits do what they want. Essentially, what you see, and it's got kind of tooltips on it, is that when the in signal is off, then the out signals are on. So you can kind of get a visual for, in signal is off, out signals are on. The NOT gate inverts that. So when it's not going in, the outputs will be off. Pretty cool. And now that I made this, I'm trying to remember where this went in my build. I was playing around with this with so many things, trying to figure out how I wanted to do this, because there's a very simple vanilla way to make an automated sugarcane farm, but I kind of wanted to use some of the mods blocks, and it makes it a little more compact. All right, next thing we're gonna need is a repeater, and I have a repeater over here. I don't need that redstone torch, I don't think. Pretty sure I don't. All right, so we're gonna come out here to our courtyard, and we're gonna actually sleep because it's getting to be dark. All right. Okay, and we're going to build our sugarcane farm right about here. Now, I want... Oh, I forgot to make something. Oh well, we will in a little bit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to have area that goes down. I don't remember how I was doing this. Is that right? Maybe I want to do it out here. Alright. We need to go down again, because a lot of our sugarcane farm we are going to, have kind of in the ground. Because you know that you need to flow water over top or next to sugarcane in order to get to grow. So that's what we're going to do with this. Actually, I want to dig this part out. Oop, falling in a hole. There we go. Okay. And I don't actually need on this side. Okay. I think this is right. So we need to grab a bucket and throw some water in. Let's just go ahead and get the sugarcane flowing. I think I've got a bucket in here. We are going to go ahead and thieve this really quick so I don't need to run back and forth. Drop this on the ground. Bucket 1, bucket 2, and then we'll just make a couple of infinite water sources. There we go. Excellent. Let's go put this back where it belongs. Okay, so we've got all that good stuff. Next thing we need to do is kind of use some of our brick to build up and out. Actually, I suppose we can put our pistons down. We are going to grow our sugarcane right here. Our pistons are then going to sit up a section. We're going to use some of that insulated redstone conduit here. Pistons are going to sit... And actually, I think we're going to need to... Yeah, they don't connect immediately, so let's just go ahead and do pistons really quick. We're just right-clicking on the little conduit connectors to force the connection. Oop. And then hold down Shift, 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 click, Shift, click, Shift, click, Shift, click. Okay, so we've got our 7 pistons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. And then we're going to put our next set right up on top. Excellent. And then what we need to do is come around up here, and we're going to try and make this look somewhat presentable. And I'm probably going to have to do another set of bricks. Yeah, that'll look decent. Okay. We're going to put our update detector right here, because what we want it to do is anytime this piston is fired, we want the update detector to be like, hey, something happened. And I need to make myself some stairs. All right. So we need to connect in all the rest of this stuff. Now I'm trying to remember exactly how I had this. From my memory, I think we needed to do this. Coming off of the update detector, you don't want to use one of the insulated redstone conduits. They kind of, there we go. They kind of create basically a signal that bounces back and forth, and it just does not work out very well. Insulated redstone conduit, what are you? Throw that there. This goes here. We're not going to connect it, actually, to this top row. You don't need to with what I'm about to do. Coming up and up. We need a couple more bricks. We're going to have to make some more and cap off the top of this. Coming out of here, we're going to use our redstone repeater. And you're going to set that to one click, basically. And then our NOT gate. So our NOT gate is going to say, as long as there's no redstone signal, all of this will fire. And we have to use redstone for this. So far as I can tell. Actually, now I'm curious. I wonder, because the downside with using redstone is that it doesn't really hold a charge after 14 blocks or so. Well, let's leave this here and we'll test it in a second. So this should be everything. This should work. So we're gonna show as these sugar canes grow. Once it reaches the top, there we go. Uh-oh, still stuck on. I forgot something. Yeah, it might be kind of important to actually attach this because otherwise it doesn't reset itself. Oop, gotta break the redstone signal. Okay. Redstone goes down, and there we go. Okay. So, essentially what happens is this is basically this redstone signal is waiting for something to enter this block and complete the circuit that will then fire the piston and basically fire the whole string. Once this whole string fires, it also triggers basically the our update detector, which then fires the whole bottom row and also triggers our NOT gate to turn off. We set the redstone signal to a delay of 2 ticks because the block update detector waits 3 ticks until it turns off, or basically until it can fire again. So this should always work every time. Now, one thing that a lot of you are noticing is like, hey, wait, there's all this sugar cane. That's not very effective. Well, that's what this ender pearl is for, and I forgot to make something. We are going to make a vacuum hopper. Vacuum hopper is pretty easy. We just need a regular old... Of course, we're going to need some more wood. And of course, I don't have any wood. Get them all out. So let me go chop some trees down and be back in a second. Alright, back here making vacuum hopper. So I need a chest. Clear that out. Need to make a regular hopper. And then I don't quite remember what else you have to do for a vacuum hopper. Is it just an ender pearl on top? It seems too simple. Nope. Vacuum. Vacuum hopper. A little tiny vacuum hopper. Oh, of course. We need an eye of ender and some obsidian. Yeah. Eye of ender. Well, luckily I went to the nether and I killed a couple more blazes, although I guess we had some blaze powder left over anyway. Give me that eye of ender. Ender pearl, eye of ender, obsidian we have a whole lot of, courtesy of our wonderful igneous extruder. We'll go ahead and get another stack. Managed to turn my lava pump on again. Excellent. Put that in there, this up here, that can go there. Vacuum hopper, okay. Vacuum hopper, we're gonna probably need some more item conduits so we can get our stuff to where we want it to go. But for now, vacuum hopper is gonna sit right down here in the middle. I have a feeling that, yeah, it's been more than 5 minutes. Those initial sugar canes kind of got despawned. Oopsie. Eat some food. So, there we go. Excellent. Right in there. Oh boy, actually, in looking at the time, we probably ought to kind of pretty up our sugarcane farm and then call it for the day, and then leave the rest of this power generation creation business till next episode. So let me grab some bricks. I think I've got some cooking, or I don't know, I'll have to find them all. And then meet you back over. We want to turn our clay into bricks. And while that finishes working, let's go ahead and put some capping finishing touches on here. Now, I will tell you, I tried to see if redstone conduit would work. I kind of didn't think it would, and no, it doesn't. I think I can do this. Oh god, that scared the crap out of me. I was not expecting that. I feel kind of stupid. And let's go ahead and put it down here. Just so. There we go. There, now it's all nice and clean in there. You can do that too. And finally, actually, none of this needs to be here, none of that needs to be there. And let's go ahead and just seal it up with some glass. Let's do it this way. And right there. I think that should work just fine. I don't think there should be any problem with the sugarcane getting in there. I suppose we'll find out. I'll have to listen for it and come running back later. But that looks kind of neat. I guess we can take this side off. Pretty cool. I suppose we could always add some glass on this side. I might try that and see what that looks like. But that's kind of cool. It's, you know, fairly nice and compact. Doesn't look too bad. Actually, I think it looks kind of cool. Alright, so that does it for this episode. Hopefully you found this, you know, reasonably entertaining. You know, it's not the best sugarcane farm in the world, but it seems to work out pretty well. I actually think it'll work great. We may need to make it larger. We may need to duplicate it on the other side, kind of where I'm standing. But we'll see. Next episode, we will put the finishing touches on this power system and hopefully find out that it makes enough power for us. Until then, this is Sidetrack signing off. Have a great day, folks.